Hey, this is John with Harmony Fishing, and we're going to take a quick look at the Harmony Tungsten Weedless Offset Ned Rig heads. These have an EWG, an extra wide gap style hook. They're tungsten heads, and what that extra wide gap hook lets you do is rig these up completely weedless. And I'll show you that in a minute. I've got two different sizes in my hand. These come in several different weights, everything down from a 32nd of an ounce up to 3/8. There's two hook sizes. You've got this smaller version that is the 3/16 and below. That actually pairs up perfectly with traditional like 2.5 to 2 3/4, 3-inch Ned Rig baits like the Finesse TRD. And then the two larger sizes, the 1/4 ounce and the 3/8 ounce, pair up with the slightly bigger 4-inch range Ned Rigs like the big TRD. A couple of things you'll notice when you first take a look at these. First, you've got a solid tungsten head. This is a pure tungsten head. That's the ultimate sensitivity. When you're actually dragging these on the bottom, you're going to feel a lot better than if you had a traditional lead Ned Rig. That transmits that vibration up your line. I mean, it's twice the density of lead, and I'd say you get at least 2 times the transmission of vibration. So when you're dragging across a harder bottom, a softer bottom, you're going to have a lot better idea of what your bait is actually making contact with, help you fish a little more effectively. The next thing you'll notice is the EWG hooks. This is a finesse light wire hook. And two main reasons we've got that on there. One is you're often fishing a Ned Rig with lighter equipment, and to get a solid hook set, you want that needle point on a finesse light wire hook. You want that needle sharp point so that even when you're fishing like a medium or medium light rod, when you set that hook, there is almost no resistance to puncture this. When you touch these are sticky sharp and they're super thin. So they pierce with no effort whatsoever. The second main reason you have a light wire hook on this, if you look at it compared to a traditional Ned Rig that just has a J hook, there's a lot more material here. You have to size down the hook quite a bit to still allow that Ned Rig to float. And what I mean by that is, let's rig up a Finesse TRD on this 1/8 ounce head real quick. The material of this hook on a traditional Ned Rig is mostly focused right here in the head. On an EWG style, it's all the way back here. You need a lighter wire in order for this buoyant Elastec material to still stand up at rest. You'll see some rigs out there advertised as Ned Rigs, and if you cast one of them out with a heavier wire hook, it actually just lay dead on the bottom like that. The reason we use a finesse light wire hook on here is because that hook wire is still light enough that when this is at rest on the bottom, the Elastec is still buoyant enough to float this hook. And it'll sit standing up on the bottom, and any little micro currents in the water will just let it quiver. You shaking your slack on your rod will let it quiver, and you actually get the action that this Ned Rig was designed for. You put too heavy of a hook on here, and this thing's gonna lie on the bottom like that. So here's that 1/8 ounce with the smaller hook paired up with a Finesse TRD. Let's grab that slightly bigger 1/4 ounce version. We're going to rig up a big TRD on this one, just to show how well these pair. I mean, these hooks were custom designed for these after all, for these style sizes of baits. So here you have the 1/4 ounce version with a Z-Man Big TRD, and here you have the 1/8 ounce version with a Z-Man Finesse TRD. And those are the Harmony Fishing Tungsten Weedless Offset Ned Rigs.